Woo! What's going on, guys? Orange Form coming at you guys today with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about some free agent frenzy that's been going on with the Detroit Lions. I got some breaking news. Detroit Lions did sign a free agent cornerback out of Pittsburgh. He played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Cam Sutton, number 20. Probably change that number, obviously. The former Pittsburgh Steeler coming to Motown to bolster this secondary. The 5'11", 188-pound man, 28 years old, 6 years in the NFL, all with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Drafted out of Tennessee. He was a Tennessee Volunteer back in 2017, drafted in the third round. They signed him to, a pretty solid deal. 3-year deal, $33 million, $22.5 million guaranteed, with a $10.9 million signing bonus, $11 million average, and a really good signing. Not a superstar. They're not a superstar signing, nothing like that. He's not gonna, it's not a household name, but he was one of the best free agent cornerbacks available in this free agent frenzy for 2023 so far. He was behind guys like James Bradbury and Jamal Dean. He was like the number 3 guy. So, his 6 years in the league, 168 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 3 quarterback hits, 2 sacks, 1 fumble recovery, 5 forced fumbles, 38 pass deflections, and 8 interceptions to his name. A versatile cornerback that plays bigger than he is. He's, like I said, he's 5'11", 188-pound frame, and he's a little bit fearless. He officially became a starter back in 2021 and had a very nice 2022. He's if you go look at our depth chart right now, he's already penciled in as our starting nickel corner, but he could start on the outside. He could be an outside cornerback easily. Back, like when I said 2021, he finally got the chance to start for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it was on the outside. So, but he's versatile. I think he took 70% of his snaps last year on the outside and about 30% at slot. So, what Holmes loves and what Dan Campbell loves and Aaron Glenn, in the defense, whatever position coach, they love versatility, and this is what this guy brings. He brings versatility. Now, he had a career year for himself. He was the best cornerback on the Pittsburgh Steelers last year on a really heavily expensive Pittsburgh Steelers defense. He plays the outside of slot, like I said, and he dealt with number ones, wide receiver ones all year. Now, like I said, played 70% on the outside, 30% on the inside at the slot. PFF had him, and again, I'm not the biggest supporter of PFF. I do like PFF, and I go to it every now and then, but sometimes they can be a little bit biased, or they just grade differently sometimes. But PFF had him at a 72.2 overall grade, 73.6 on run defense, and 71 on the pass defense. So, those are really, really good numbers. They're practically elite numbers for 2022. Now, he hasn't been, and then he the completion percentage against them was out of like 47 or 48% against them in 2022. Now, you look at his career. If you look at his career, it took him a little bit to get in the mix. I don't know if I didn't really look this deep into it, but like I said, he didn't get on the field as a full-time starter until about 2021. Started most of his games 2021, 2022 full-time again. 2020 he was getting in there too. Started about 6 or 7 games as a Pittsburgh Steeler, but he's improved every year, and he's the type of guy I think that this regime is looking for, obviously, or they wouldn't have gave him some money. And I know the one thing that just keeps popping up when I keep reading about this guy is there's 2 things. there's two things, or a few things actually. Pittsburgh Steelers fans are not happy about it. Okay, like I would, and I'm not sitting here and I'm trying to blow smoke up your yin yang, and trying to tell you that this guy is going to turn this whole defense around. But he's going to make the secondary better. But majority of Pittsburgh Steelers fans are upset that this guy was let go because he was basically one of their best defensive players last year, especially in the secondary. It was a bad secondary. This guy stood out. He's a really good corner. A lot of fans wanted him back. There was a lot of Pittsburgh radio guys, social media people in Pittsburgh that thought they were going to make him come back. They actually thought they were going to re-sign him to a deal, and they let him walk. You know, they did bring back Patrick Peterson, though. Well, they did not bring him back, but they did sign Patrick Peterson. You know, so they brought back a veteran there, but they let this guy walk, and we got ourselves a pretty good one. So, you know, I think and the two things that I keep seeing about it is that he's just, the one word I keep seeing is smart, and then the other word is versatile. So, like I said earlier, he can play the inside, he can play the outside. He even played safety in a pinch, helping out Minka Fitzpatrick, so Minka can do his thing. So he's extremely versatile and he's extremely smart. He knows how to play the position, and he knows how to play multiple positions. So he's going to improve this. He's going to improve this secondary. He was, you know, I think PFF had him around overall cornerbacks in the NFL, had him around 27 or 28. You know, and I think our next best one was, I think it might have been Akuda at 60 something, or Will Harris or something, or something crazy like that, like in the 60s or 70s. So this is a good signing. You know, you'll see people in this fan base that will complain about this signing because it's not a James Bradbury, it's not a Jamal Dean. You know, we didn't try to pay to get Jalen Ramsey, but apparently we were in on the Ramsey deal. Kind of going off thing here. Apparently we were in on the Ramsey deal. Holmes offered LA a trade offer. He offered him a trade offer, but it was up to Ramsey where he wanted to go. So the way I kind of looked at, I like reading between the lines. The way the Rams came out and said that they pretty much gave Ramsey the choice of what he wanted to do. So my take on that is that the Lions either offered a deal because the Rams gave up, because the Dolphins gave up a third-round pick and tight end Hunter Long, a young second-string tight end that hasn't done anything in the NFL. So people automatically panic, start calling Holmes the worst GM in the world, fire Holmes, blah, blah, yada, 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 this and that. So we were in on the Ramsey deal. We were in on the Jalen Ramsey deal. And so I look at as we offered a good deal or maybe even better, but Jalen Ramsey was given the choice of what he wanted to do. So I'm sure that we weren't the only team that offered the LA Rams a deal. I'm sure it just wasn't us and the Miami Dolphins. I'm sure there was multiple teams that did. But he decided to go to Miami. Now, taxes, you can talk about everything. You talk about team, you can talk about, expectations. But he chose not to come to Detroit and probably a plethora of teams. So it's not a knock on us. He's going to the sunny skies in Miami. He's going to go to a good football team. They're going to have to pay him. Miami's going to have to pay him, but they were willing to do that, man. They didn't give up a lot of capital, and they didn't give up a great player. So it was a win-win for both. But we were in on that deal. So what this showed to me was that we were going to sign a cornerback today. I wanted James Bradbury. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think a lot of you guys knew that. He was my number one corner off the board. That's the guy I wanted. I wasn't huge on Jamal Dean. I did like him. I did like Cam Sutton, and I did read that we were kind of looking at him a few days ago, that he was a possible target. And I was okay with it. I'm okay with getting the number 3 cornerback in free agency. I'm okay with getting a guy that has improved every single year he's been in the NFL. He's still fairly on that 28, still puts us under that 29 years of age. And this is a good guy who put up elite level numbers last year. Like, he didn't have all the picks. But he had like 15 pass deflections. He was very good on the outside. He's versatile, like I said. Very good against the run, very good against the pass. He was putting up elite level numbers. He really was. Now, is he an elite player? No, he's not an elite player, but he's going to help out that secondary. So I think it's a good signing by Detroit. I think we got a gamer. I think we got a good player from a good organization too, which helps a lot, which means a lot too. Because, coming from Pittsburgh, man, that's a historic organization. And you don't see a lot of teams from like a Pittsburgh rolling over to Detroit. Usually they want to go to something just as good or better, coming from a historic organization like that. So that means a lot that we're on the up and up. That just means a lot. We're on the up and up, and we got ourselves a good football player that I think has a good shot to be an outside corner right away. I don't know what they're going to do to draft now. This is not draft talk right now, but right now I see that he's penciled in as the nickel. So, and then you got Jeff Okudah and Jerry Jacobs as the outside guys. Now, I think, to me personally, I think Sutton is going to either win one of those jobs, win the 1 or win the 2 job. But if not, he's starting at the nickel. He's a starter. We picked up a starter. And I think it's a good start to what the Detroit Lions did. So kudos to Brad Holmes, kudos to Aaron Glenn and Dan Campbell for picking up a really good football player here. It's a good player, not a superstar, but an absolute good player, man. So I love it. It's a good start. So thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for letting me come into your living room and you can watch me. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button at the bottom right. Don't forget the notification on the top there. Hit that bell. And don't forget to like, comment, send this out. Harden it up, guys. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. Go Lions, one pride. Boom.